Hi, everyone. It's me, SpongeBob SquarePants. And today I'm going to tell you one of the strangest stories from my life. It all started on what seemed like an ordinary morning. I woke up early, as usual, ready to start another fantastic day at the Krusty Krab. But something felt off. My jaw was tingling like someone had taken a tiny feather and decided to tickle the inside of my mouth. It's nothing serious, I thought. Maybe I just ate too many Krabby Patties last night. But by lunchtime, the pain had gotten worse. I couldn't concentrate on flipping patties or serving customers. Mr. Krabs noticed my discomfort and asked what was wrong.
SpongeBob, boy oh boy, why are ye clutching your face like that? Did ye get stung by a jellyfish?
No, Mr. Krabs, I replied, wincing in pain. I think I have a toothache. Mr. Krabs raised an eyebrow.
A toothache. Better see a dentist before it gets worse.
No way, I exclaimed, waving my arms dramatically. Dentists are scary. I'll fix it myself. Mr. Krabs sighed.
Suit yourself, lad. Just don't let it affect your work.
Back home, I tried to ignore the pain, but it only grew stronger. I paced back and forth in my pineapple house, muttering to myself. Okay, SpongeBob, stay calm. You've faced worse things than a toothache, jellyfish attacks, giant clams, even Plankton's evil schemes, and you survived. But this time it wasn't so easy. The pain throbbed with every heartbeat, making me feel like my head might explode. Desperate for a solution, I turned to my trusty bookshelf. After some searching, I found a dusty old book titled DI Dentistry for Beginners. Flipping through its pages, I discovered several home remedies that seemed promising, or at least ridiculous enough to try. My first idea was to brush my teeth thoroughly. Only problem, I didn't have a regular toothbrush lying around. What I did find, though, was a pipe cleaner. If it works on dirty pipes, it'll definitely work on my teeth. I reasoned, big mistake. As soon as I stuck the pipe cleaner into my mouth, it scraped against my gums, causing more pain. Oh, I yelled, spitting out the ending object. Okay, bad idea. Moving on. Next, I tried heating my face over a pot of boiling water. Maybe the steam would somehow magically heal my tooth. Spoiler alert, it didn't. In fact, it made my face look like a boiled tomato. Squidward, who happened to be passing by, stopped mid-stride when he saw me hovering over the stove.
Money, SpongeBob, what in the name of Bikini Bottom are you doing? Squidward demanded, his eyes wide with disbelief.
Oh, hi, Squidward. I chirped cheerfully. I'm trying to steam clean my toothache away. Works wonders, doesn't it? Squidward stared at me for a moment before shaking his head and walking away.
You're hopeless.
He muttered under his breath. Undeterred, I moved on to the crowbar and rope method. Yes, you heard that right. I figured if I tied one end of the rope to the crowbar and the other to my tooth, I could yank it out myself. Genius, right? Wrong. As I pulled on the rope with all my might, the crowbar slipped and smacked me in the forehead. Why, kiss, I cried, falling backward onto the floor. Stars danced in front of my eyes as I lay there, groaning in pain. By the end of the day, my tooth still hurt. My face was red, and I had a lump on my forehead the size of a golf ball. Reluctantly, I admitted defeat and decided to visit the dentist. The next morning, I dragged myself to the office of Dr. Molluskov, who claimed to be the best dentist in Bikini Bottom. As soon as I walked in, I knew this wasn't going to be a normal dental appointment. The walls were covered with posters of giant teeth, and there were strange gadgets scattered across the desk, things like laser pointers, rubber hammers, and even a bottle of ketchup. Dr. Molluskov greeted me enthusiastically, introducing himself as a pioneer in underwater dentistry. He wore a lab coat adorned with cartoonish depictions of drills and toothpaste tubes, and his smile revealed a set of perfectly aligned pearly whites.
Welcome, young spy!
Dr. Molluskov boomed, shaking my hand vigorously.
Mighty hearty! Don't worry, got a tooth and stuff. I'll have you fixed up in no time!
Thank you, doctor, I said nervously, eyeing the bizarre instruments on his desk. But are those tools really necessary? Dr. Molluskov chuckled.
Absolutely! You see, traditional methods are so passe. My techniques are cutting edge, literally.
Before I could protest, he ushered me into the examination chair.
Money, now open wide, my friend. Let's take a peek inside. That be a beautiful sponge mouth of yours.
As I obeyed, Dr. Molluskov reached for a massive drill that looked like it belonged on a construction site.
Money, this won't hurt a bit. Well, maybe a little.
Are you sure about that? Suddenly, the lights flickered and a loud alarm blared throughout the room. What's happening? I shrieked, jumping out of the chair. Ah! Molluskov waved dismissively.
Me? Oh, that's just the signal flare system. Sometimes it active accidentally. Nothing to worry about.
Despite my growing anxiety, Dr. Molluskov insisted on proceeding with the examination. He inserted a mirror into my mouth and began poking around with various tools. Each touch sent jolts of pain through my jaw, and I clenched my fists tightly. Meanwhile, Plankton, who happened to be sitting in the chair next to mine, seized the opportunity to try stealing the Krabby Patty secret formula again. Using the mirror Dr. Molluskov used for oral inspections, Plankton attempted to sneakily photograph the recipe written on the wall behind us.
Pissed SpongeBob!
Plankton whispered conspiratorially.
Keep him distracted while I snap a picture!
"Oh, Plankton, what are you doing?" I hissed, horrified. "We're in a dentist's office, not a spy movie." Plankton ignored me, fumbling with his camera. Unfortunately, his clumsy hands the flash to go off, temporarily blinding both Dr. Molluskov and me.
Who turned off the lights?
Dr. Molluskov barked, swinging his drill blindly.
And why is there a flashing light in my face?
In the chaos, Mrs. Puffer, another patient waiting her turn, launched into a long-winded story about how she lost all her teeth due to eating too much candy. Listening to her tale filled me with dread. If she lost all her teeth, what hope did I have? Behind us. After what felt like hours of drilling, poking, and prodding, Dr. Molluskov finally stepped back and announced his findings.
Spungwell,
He said, adjusting his glasses.
you don't actually have a tooth problem.
"What?" I exclaimed. "But my tooth hurts."
It's not your tooth. It's this.
With a flourish, he revealed a small piece of metal lodged between my molars. Turns out, I had swallowed part of the pipe cleaner I used earlier, using a special magnetic tool, Dr. Molluskov carefully removed the offending object. Relieved, I thanked him profusely. Who knew swallowing a piece of metal could cause so much trouble? But just as I thought everything was resolved, Plankton suddenly clutched his throat and gasped. Apparently, he had accidentally swallowed part of his own plan to steal the Krabby Patty formula while trying to hide it during the chaos. With both of us needing medical attention, Dr. Molluskov decided to treat Plankton next. Unfortunately, his unconventional methods proved too much for poor Plankton, who ended up losing conscious mid-procedure. As I left the clinic, feeling much better, I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. Moral of the story. Don't use a pipe cleaner as a toothbrush, and maybe, just maybe, visiting the dentist isn't such a bad idea after all.